do something for me. I want you to imagine the most evolved level of evolution that you can conceive of. What would that be like? What would the social interactions be like? What would your daily life be like? Imagine, try and conceive of some far-off utopian society 10,000 years in the future, and what would the most evolved level of evolution that you can conceive of possibly be like? After this video, take 5 minutes and just do that. Now, what I want you to do is, if you can conceive of something, if you can understand it, if you can comprehend any part of it, what those social interactions would be like in a far-off utopian society, if you can comprehend any of what the daily parts of life would be like, that you can understand it all whatsoever, instead of waiting for them to happen 1,000 years from now, why not just choose to do them now? And I don't mean technological advances. I mean, like, things such as, I don't believe in embarrassment, because I don't believe in evil. I don't believe there's any bad or good or evil. I believe there's informed and there's uninformed. The reason I don't believe in embarrassment is because if you make a choice if you've made a conscious choice to do harm to another or their environment, then you should be ashamed of yourself. But if you're not harming anyone or their environment, then there's nothing to be ashamed of. Therefore, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. If it's a mistake, then if there's an accident, then learn from your mistake. And as long as you haven't made any conscious, aware decision to harm anyone else or their environment, then there's no such thing as embarrassment. Because if you're not harming anyone, if you're not consciously choosing to harm anyone or their environment, then there's nothing to be ashamed of. Therefore, if there's nothing to be ashamed of, unless you're harming another or their environment, there's no such thing as embarrassment. If we took things like that from the ability to try and conceive of the most evolved level of evolution that we can possibly conceive of, say 10,000 years in the future, anything that we can understand about what social interaction would be like, or what day-to-day life would be like from such a utopian society, why not just choose to do it now, instead of waiting 1,000 years? So, what I've done is, I've come up with a website, using this method of conceiving, where I conceived of the most evolved level of evolution I could possibly conceive of. And the website is a list of the world's problems, where we get to submit as many problems to the list as we want, and once a day, only once per day, which is a proprietary part of the website's design, is you get to change your star rating on each problem that you've submitted, or that anybody else has submitted, from 1 star to 100 stars. You can you can submit a problem to the list and vote 100 stars on it. And the more people that vote, the more stars on each problem, the higher the problem goes to the top of the list. Now, not only can you submit problems and vote on the prioritization of how severe these problems are, but you can also traverse a searchable search tree similar to eBay's search tree, where you can, as you're traversing it, you can, if you have an epiphany or a eureka moment of any of these problems, if you go, hey, I have a solution to that, then you can also add a solution to any of the problems that you find on the website's problems list. And then you also vote from 1 to 100 stars on where those on your solution in its list of the solutions for each problem. So I don't know about you, but if I had a bunch of problems, I'd rather have my whole neighborhood coming up with solutions for my problems rather than just me trying to come up with a solution to my problems, or rather the whole world. So it's a website, and it's called The Website. I'm not sure if it's going to be .net or .org, which one of those it's going to be, but it'll be called The Website, and it'll be run with advertising, a small amount of advertising, Google AdWords probably, and you'll get to submit. It'll be a list of the world's problems. Now, not only is this going to be a list of the world's problems that we get to vote on, but it's a Google dedicated $1 billion to sometime in the next 15 years or so. They're going to be giving free Wi-Fi to the entire world via satellite. And even in third world countries, they're going to have refurbished smartphones. So sometime soon, the entire planet is going to have internet access. So eventually this is how things are going to be done, is with a website like this. It may be 1,000 years in the future, maybe 10,000 years in the future, it may be next year if we get this thing off the ground. But this is the way things will be done. We'll have this website and called The Website because it'll be the most popular website in the history of all websites, where it'll have all of the world's problems being submitted by everyone, searchable by anyone, and if you care at all about anything, we'll be able to take this information that you've accessed and submitted to this website to our leaders without red tape, without corruption, without any smoky backroom deals, and we'll be able to say, look, these are what this many people who access this website say are the most important problems in the world, and these are the ones that made it to the top 10, top 20, top 100, and also these are the solutions that have been submitted by this many people, and these solutions have been voted to the top of the lists of solutions for each of these problems. And that's, you can't get more direct. There'll be no red tape, no corruption, no. It'll be direct data from us to our leaders, which we can dedicate. Our leaders will be able to make promises like the top 10 problems on the website. We will dedicate this much resources to every year to solve it, to the top 3 solutions or the top 1 solution on the website, yearly, monthly, weekly, daily, and it'll be irrefutable. It'll be incorruptible. direct access to us, the people of the world, for the people who are deciding what should be a collaborative effort of us, the people of the world. And so that's basically the idea. What your money would be going for is I'm going to hire a hosting company to set up a dedicated server, and I'm going to get the website up and running for at least a year. It's going to be traversable like an eBay search tree. It will be advertised with all the major search engines. It'll be using Google AdWords, and hopefully, quite honestly, it's more like $50,000, which is going to be required to set this website up properly the way my proprietary architecture is envisioning, but you can't, you don't get the Kickstarter money unless you reach your goal. So the minimum that I think I can get this page hosted for, well, it's not going to be one page. It's the minimum that I think I can get this site hosted for, because it's so complex. Is around $5,000, unfortunately. I wish I could just build it myself, but the like I said, the architecture of the traversable search engine and the star rating system is a little bit complex. The proprietary information that I'm envisioning on how it's going to function, and function correctly, and not have any problems, and be irrefutable and incorruptible, is it's going to be a little bit expensive, but if you donate, you can help kickstart our evolution towards what a society is going to be like 10,000 years in the future, where we all have internet access and we're all daily submitting our opinions on what the collaborative effort of our society should be. So that's basically it. And again, I'd like you to try to do the conceiving yourself. I'd like you to see if you can imagine if you could possibly conceive of the most evolved level of evolution that you can conceive of. It what would it be like, and what would the utopian society that we would live in on a daily basis be like? What would the social interactions be like? And if you can understand or comprehend even a little of it, choose to do it now instead of choosing to do it or choosing to wait for it 1,000 years in the future. Evolve us now, and help me kickstart evolution. Thank you very much.